I remember, yeah, you had friends that like would just like have Napster running and just fucking download
Oh,
like hella
downloading
music
all
and shit
kinds of
like that.
shit.
Like
Yeah,
just and
right.
yeah, that place was kind of crazy inside of there.
So crazy.
But yeah,
LimeWire too.
dude, I was on LimeWire
Yeah.
and I'm not. It's probably past like 7 years, whatever the statute of
Yeah.
limitation is. But yeah, I was heavy LimeWire. Like
Bro,
I
downloading
remember,
tracks.
yeah, and I had like say like 370 tracks, right, that I would
Yeah.
download, and I could remember every single one in order.
Oh,
Like I know what comes
really?
after this one, even in
What?
the
For real?
200s or whatever. Like yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, it was crazy. Like LimeWire was so good.
It was so
Like
cool.
you'd probably get like some viruses here and there, but like even I swear there was people, local people who would like upload their music as like 50 Cent or
Oh, yeah,
something,
yeah, yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
like there was a song called like Death Before Dishonor, and
Uh-huh.
like I don't think he was a known rapper, but
Right.
like I still kept it in my catalog because
It
it
was
was
that
like
good.
it was good.
There was a
Yeah, it
couple of
was like
tracks that,
messaging and
yeah,
meaning it.
there
Yeah,
was a couple of tracks like that that I came across too, because they would do that. They would
yeah,
put like, it would be the same beat, so it'd be the instrumental, right,
yeah, yeah,
of like 50 Cent track or
yeah,
whoever was popular at the time, and you think you're downloading that song, and then you
yeah.
play it, and it's some other dude on
Yeah,
there.
Soldier Boy did
Yeah.
that. I know Hobson has did that like as disguised like Ludacris or something. And then you
Oh
download
yeah.
it and like, oh, that's not too bad, so I'll just keep it. So yeah, it was a strategy. And but yeah, no, I wonder if I could bring some of like I could pull some of these songs up and stuff like
We
that.
should sometime on an
Yeah,
episode
we should.
pull some of those
Yeah, or I
fucking
could like
old songs
download
up.
it and like play it. Like, who
Yeah.
is this guy? And like research or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you remember there was like this song. I know you remember it because we used to listen to it all the time. It was when that whole like, so when Eminem's Marshall Mathers album came out, the first
Yeah,
one,
yeah,
and he had those couple of songs talking about ICP, right?
yeah,
And out here, for some reason, this little like nestle of Utah, that shit was popular. Like, people loved Insane Clown Posse, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, especially the white kids.
Of course.
You know what I mean? They loved Insane Clown Posse. And so when that came out, it was relevant to us because we knew who they were and we knew kids who were fucking with them, right? And who loved them.
Yeah.
And so like that was like our track against that type of culture, right? Was those like Eminem tracks. And then some dudes, it wasn't even them, but we downloaded it thinking it was a diss because it said like, I don't know, it was like, something ICP featuring so and so Eminem diss track.
Yeah.
And we downloaded it on LimeWire, and it obviously wasn't ICP, but the track was funny. And the
Oh,
track was
yeah,
really
it's probably
good. And they were
funny,
like saying a bunch of funny shit about Eminem.
Yeah.
And so we kept it and we put it on a CD and we listened to it. And like we'd made like basically, you remember we made like, we had those tracks from the Marshall Mathers LP on there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had a couple of the ICP tracks and then that track and a couple others like on the same disc.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was like a disc track. It was like a disc record CD that we had burnt ourselves so we can listen and basically judge who
Yeah,
won.
that's true. I
You know?
remember that.
Yeah.
Funny Cheese.
And it was some dudes that it sounded like they had a New York accent. And it was just some dudes that fucking put a song out there dissing Eminem because they were on the side of ICP. And we were like, this is actually not that bad. It's funny. You know?
Still trying to find that skit where like, yeah, Dr. Dre has somebody signed in the studio.
Oh, yeah,
and,
yeah.
like, he's like, kind of basically pull your pants down and like,
Yeah.
do you know how we get
You want
down?
to be down with the aftermath?
We're gonna find that.
We gotta
That's a
find that
mission.
shit. And that was probably somebody that like just like we're talking about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they weren't
it could
even
be,
famous.
Yeah, it could be like
Yeah.
a no name, but like somehow we got it. But I don't know. Yeah, I was watching like uh, Old Dirty Bastard. It was like a small little bio or something like that. But like they were supposed to win a Grammy or something like that. And I think
Oh, like
I wanna
Wu-Tang?
say- Yeah, yeah.
Wu-Tang Clan, they were supposed to win a Grammy?
I think so. And I think Puff won it or something like that. You know,
Oh,
P Diddy or something. And then I think old ODB went to the stage and started doing like something like Kanye did to Taylor Swift.
Oh,
like,
for real?
Yeah, yeah. And then he's like, we do this for the kids. He's like, no disrespect to Puff, or he said something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just wonder. I feel like anybody who messes or says something about Puff, like something bad.
Oh,
happens,
they end up dead.
So anyway, yeah. That's for another.
That's for another.
conspiracy.
Yeah, we'll get into that
We'll get
conspiracy
here,
shit because
but not.
yeah, music industry conspiracy shit, like that's some crazy stuff when you get
Nah.
into it, man.
Yeah, but okay. What was we on?
So downloading music,
Downloading music.
yeah.
Yeah.
You remember people would download those, and this just came to me, but you remember those like, they weren't music videos, but they were music tracks over anime videos. like over Dragon Ball Z videos.
Yeah.
And people love that shit. And sometimes it was really dope. Like the
like
audio,
the metal.
Yeah, and it synced up to the scene
like
really well.
One.
Yeah, and it synced up like so well. And like we just sit there and watch that. Like that was like the coolest shit to me. Like sitting there with friends and all just like watching this and giving our take on it and like, oh yeah, it was so cool. Like especially this part and stuff. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I really don't feel like my kids are gonna have those kind of same experiences because everything's so fucking involved online now.
I feel like there are even more though, like where they sync it to SpongeBob and stuff like that. But yeah, maybe not all in a group.
Yeah, and maybe. It's like small clips.
Yeah,
because the attention span of a kid now is like quick.
Yeah, it's way quick. It's way quick. But yeah, speaking of like those chat rooms when we talked about, like I remember me and my friend, like first my friend was in my age, but then I made friends with his older brother, who was probably a year older than you.
Oh, okay.
He passed away. Rest in peace. But yeah, we would go in a chat room and we would like sing. Oh. Like we would sing fuck, I don't even remember. Like it was probably like Joe or something like that.
Yeah.
Singing Joe or singing like Casey and Joe.
Yeah, the R&B singer
like
Joe.
Yes, yeah, and something like that, right? Probably. Speaking of Puff, it was probably a Diddy song or whatever.
Yeah.
But anyways, we would sing, and then people were like, "Oh, that's fucking trash! Shut up!" We'd be like, "Fuck you!" And then we just keep singing
in
the chat room. Yeah. Like, yeah, we were just like, just fucking, like, we
just
were like
starting
singing
shit,
and like, I don't know. It was like being in like a club or something, you know, like a stand-up comedian or something like that, you know. And then people just boo you and just like, "Fuck you!"
Yeah,
I don't care. Like, we're just singing. And we thought we were the shit. Like it was fun, dude. It's like I'll remember that like
forever. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's fucking cool. That's so funny. Yeah, that chat room stuff. Even a few people gave me some feedback on that conversation we had on the last episode.
Did they do it too?
Yeah, they were like, "You were so right." Like that was like the fucking thing to do.
It was.
And just like chatting with people and fucking talking shit, pretending like you're somebody else to get, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like so funny.
Yeah.
Good times, dude.
Like prank calling too was a thing too. You remember doing that?
Oh my gosh, prank calling. So, as you know, and a lot of my friends know, I can do impersonations. Right? So I do some impersonations, bro. I would do some fucking prank calls, and we would call masking that we were from a store, right? Because there was a couple stores, especially out in the North Ogden area, where they had like an accent or something, right?
Okay.
And I can mimic the accent pretty well, and so I'd be like, you know, you were in the store. I don't want to do it right now, but you know, you were in the store. I seen you. You took this. You took that. And they're like, I wasn't in your fucking store. I don't know. You're crazy. And I hope I didn't get those people in trouble at their stores. You know what I mean?
No,
because I would just be calling them like, you know, I saw you take a soda. You took this soda and this.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and fucking kids would eat it up because I was able to do it so well.
Yeah, I remember that.
So, okay, worst thing ever. Okay, talking about prank calls, right? Because we would do thousands of fucking prank calls in a weekend,
right.
Especially if I went and stayed the night at a particular friend's house.
Right.
We would just do prank calls every night, right? And I did this prank call where we were just literally looking at numbers in a phone book, okay? And you fucking picked a number out. Okay, we're just gonna call this one. And it had the name of the husband and wife, so they were listed in the phone book together. Okay, book, and this is terrible. Yeah. This is so terrible.
We're kids.
I was probably like, oh my god, I was like 13, 14 maybe. So I called, and the wife picks up, and immediately I'm like, oh hi, Mrs. So and so. You know, this is Officer. You know. Or you know, State Trooper Johnson or whatever. Just wanted to let you know that we just got to the scene of a car accident and we found the ID and it's so and so, and they listed the name of the husband. Yeah. She shrieked, like not screamed. She like, you know. I was like, I hung up the phone and I looked around at the room and like some of the kids were laughing and some of the other kids were like, you know, like what the fuck did we just do? And I was like my heart was racing and stuff, and I'm like, I gotta call them back. I gotta tell them this is a prank call. My friend's like, no, dude, because they're gonna get the number. And we were star 67, you know, like blocking your number. But after that, I didn't want to do any more prank calls. Like they were trying to get me to do prank calls and do my funny voices and shit like that. I was like, I'm not doing any more.
But,
like I'm going to hell for this one call.
No, because like the husband could just show up later.
Yeah, he just shows up after work or something. He's like, what's wrong? And she's like, you know.
Or Stranger Than Fiction, he actually really died.
Oh my god.
No, he came home.
Put that evil on me.
She probably weighs on your heart from today, right now.
Yeah, bro, it was so bad. Like that was some fucking diabolical shit. Like, why would I?
No, I think it's still it's funny because I'm sure he was fine. He came home and she was like, grateful, but like,
and there was a lot of good ones. But there were a lot of funny ones that didn't involve making people think that they just lost a loved one.
Yeah.
Like, so another one that we used to do was we'd call, and I had a friend that did a perfect radio voice. Oh, like he sounded like a radio DJ, right?
Yeah.
And we were calling around saying that we were a local radio station, like the alternative rock music. Yeah. And he was like, this is so-and-so from this. He had the perfect radio voice. But he told this, he was doing this like, if you can do these 3 things or you can do these 4 challenges in your home, we'll give you tickets to see this popular band.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, do you remember this? Crazy. Yeah, so he's like, and the guy that answered sounded like he was drunk on the other end because we'd have him on speakerphone. He's like, oh, what? Who's this?
Yeah.
He's like, this is so-and-so from this radio station. He goes, oh, he's like, are you near, are you near your toilet right now? He goes, oh, yeah, I am. He's like, go flush your toilet, and if we can hear it, then, that's step 1. And so he flushes the toilet, and we hear it. And like, you just passed step 1, now on to the next challenge. And the last thing was, he legit, okay? And this is how I think the guy was drunk.
Yeah.
He's like, if you smash in your car window, we will give you the tickets front row to see this band. No. And he's like, you hear, boom, you hear the glass crack, like the glass shatter. We started losing it, dude. We had to put the mute. We lost it. All of us were laughing our asses off. He really did it.
I don't believe
he really did
That's
it.
Crazy.
Yeah, he was like, hello, did I win?
Oh.
Hey, did you hear it? I can do it again. He's like, I can do it again. And he come back, and the guy and my friend comes back on, and he goes, congratulations, you won. We're gonna hold on, we'll get your information, and we're gonna send you the tickets to see this band.
Yeah,
and we hung up, dude, and we were dying. We were like, it made the night. We were fucking rolling on the floor laughing.
The dead husband.
This guy just did all this shit and broke his own car window, thinking he was going to get tickets to this concert. And I wonder how long he waited because we just had him on hold. I wonder how long he waited thinking he was going to get some tickets.
That's the guy I feel bad for. Fuck.
Oh my God. Yeah. Fuck.
Good times.
Good times. I wonder if that shit only happened here because we're in a small town.
No, you know what I mean? That shit happened everywhere. I bet. It's just I feel like here it might be like some more gullibleness.
Yeah,
because
it is a small area,
sheltered or something, or right. But like say you do that in Vegas or something, like
they would be hip to it. Scam, it probably happens so much to them. Yeah,
like people bullshit all the time or whatever.
Right,
like, don't believe people because But here, like Mormontown or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing. Like you have to like keep your word, or like or,
that's
you have
true.
To, like, I don't know. It's like kind of like Fox News or something where it's more serious.
Right.
But I don't know. That's just what I think.
No, that's a good point because you're right. Like there is a sense, especially back then, of gullibility because they were so trusting because there was a smaller community, right? And so it was a little bit more trusting. I could see where you're going with that because like if you were to do some of this shit in like, I don't know, a big city, they'd probably be like, oh, yeah, fucking right. This ain't so-and-so.
Yeah.
Like, I'll prove it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And stuff. So that stuff probably worked more out here. That's a good point.
Even back then, like, because if you do it now, like, obviously people get spam calls and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Like, every day I'm getting
get the fuck out of
here. Yeah, I'm getting calls from your warranty's expired.
Yeah, fucking, car insurance or something and a bunch of shit. What was I heard something, I can't think of it, pertaining to that, but yeah, they have accents and stuff, but I heard like they're starting to not have accents, like so like more people in the U.S. are like doing
starting to get on doing scams, fucking traders,
more legit or something,
sellouts.
But fuck, like they make a lot of money, scammers and stuff. Like
they can,
even from overseas, and like they'll have the accents, like from Jamaica or India or something like that, and they'll get. The Simpsons even made an episode. I don't know if you're keeping up with it.
Oh no, I haven't.
About old people just giving their credit card information out and stuff like that. But that's Simpsons, I don't know. What do you feel about that? People who can get scammed. I mean, we all kind of get scammed in a way. I think. But do you think? Not that they deserve it, but it's like, do you think like,
they should be smarter to know.
If you're gullible enough to lose your money, then you shouldn't have it, or like,
That's interesting.
It's like fair game, or do you think like it's kind of because like in the U.S. Like we pay more for a lot of stuff.
Right.
Technically, because we're scamming each other, because people will buy something so low or have a service or something for doesn't cost much to them,
right?
But sell it to people for a higher price compared to
make
other
profit.
Right. Compared to other countries. That's why we're so rich, because like we kind of rip each other off anyways. But do you think
money's gotta flow?
Whatever you get into or whatever, like they kind of deserve to be swindled out of their money, because it's like you fall for it. You're dumb enough to fall for it or something. I don't know.
I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think, and I kind of mentioned that when we talked before, that ethics and people's humanity in general kind of go out the window when it comes to chasing that dollar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's kind of messed up. I think a lot of those scammers and people who are trying to take advantage of people, they target certain individuals. They're targeting elderly people.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is that they can swoon into getting something from. Have you ever seen that show? It was on like Discovery or iDiscovery, something like that. But it was called The Root of All Evil, and it's about like money scams.
Maybe.
So the whole show is about money scams.
Yeah.
And there's so many where like this one particular episode, because they were targeting elderly people, these guys claimed that they had these rare coins.
Oh, okay.
And you can buy a piece of these rare coins. So when they're auctioned, you make back some of your money, right?
Yeah.
They didn't have any fucking coins. They were just calling. There was just like four dudes that were calling from some guy's house, and just like, and they had all the information. Like one guy would do the research on these coins and what they're valued at, and like in case the person asked some serious questions about it, because they were really into coins, they would know like, oh, this was minted this and that or whatever. There's only this many out there.
Yeah.
And they were like getting thousands of dollars a day from people. And they were living large, you know what I mean? These are just 4 guys living large, and they were just scamming these old people to quote unquote invest in these rare coins, you know what I mean? And so I don't think those people deserved it, but if somebody knows their shit enough, they could sound legit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So it's why it's always important for, if you are getting into certain things like NFTs and stuff that are popular right now, don't just hop into shit like that. Like, talk to somebody who knows a little bit about it and do a little bit of your own research before you start getting into that, because people they just think, oh, people are making money off of it, so I'm just going to hop into it because it's I'm going to get in and people I'm going to make the money, right?
Yeah.
But if you don't know enough, people can just be ripping you off.
That's true.
Yeah.
And like we're all not going to know everything, but like with NFTs, like you should have like a track record, like like that's why blockchain is blockchain, because it's a ledger. So it's like this was sold for this much, and this belonged to this person. This was sold for this much. So like you see the value always going up.
Yeah.
Or it was sold for X amount, like a large amount. So I'm paying this large amount. So like and then it could sell again for a large amount. But yeah, if people don't know, then it's open to people taking advantage.
But so it's just the more you know.
But that's kind of business too, though, taking advantage. And, and capitalizing on opportunities, or whatever chances. Because like on the flip side of that, like there was a YouTube video where a guy had like a coin out, and he was outside of a coin shop, and the coin was valuable.
Oh yeah.
He was asking like $5 for this coin. This coin was worth like 100 or something like that. And he's like, I'm willing to sell you this coin.
Right.
We could even go into the coin shop, and I could tell you it's authentic and certified or whatever. And people were so skeptical that nobody wanted to buy it.
Oh, really?
Even on the street.
Yeah.
So it was just like, well, this sounds too good to be true, but
right.
he was just doing it for an experiment,
Yeah.
I mean, he was on camera too, so it's like, you could see my
right.
face, you could see that I'm trying to give you a deal,
yeah,
go in here, but like people just didn't believe it. So I feel like, today is like more of a skepticism or a skeptical
right.
age.
Yeah.
And back then was like more, like how we said,
yep.
more.
And if those people had known about coins,
shook somebody's hand, you know that they're holding their end
right.
of the deal.
Yeah, and if people knew about coins, they would have known, oh, this is a great deal. So it goes back to the knowledge thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But not everybody. This was random people though, walking on the street.
Yep.
Like they wouldn't just.
But you just never know. Because even like you think about like door-to-door people, right? Door-to-door salespeople.
Yeah.
If they knock and you talk to somebody who knows even a little bit about what you're selling,
mm-hmm.
then they're going to be a potential buyer because they have some foreknowledge of it, right?
Yeah.
But it's the people that don't have any foreknowledge that just think that you're trying to rip them off.
Yeah.
When you're actually doing a job, you know what I mean?
Fuck, that's probably me because I'll probably just think like I don't need this shit, but I feel like I don't need this shit. Yep. But I don't know.
And like it's been said, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
So if you knew a little bit about their product, that's why I would advise anybody if like a door-to-door person came, don't just be a dick to them and just be like, oh, they're just trying to get money. Just be like, okay, tell me a little, because I don't know either. If you know, if you know, so like, oh yeah, I know a little bit about what you're talking about because of this, or I have a friend that has this, and do a conversation off of that, because then you'll gauge if that person is like a good person to work with and possibly have a contact. You know what I mean?
Too persistent on the sale.
Yeah, because they're trained that way.
I mean, because but like I know you've done door to door, so you could, and we always empathize with what we have like. Background experience in, but no, like the last person to knock on my door was a Vivint kid, and that's a security, right?
Yeah.
And he was just he wasn't pushy, but he was persistent on like let me come in, let me do this, what about this? Have you seen like? Right. And I was just like, look, dude, like no offense to you, I have some cameras, I'm pretty okay here.
Yeah.
And like I don't need it, like.
Right.
But I mean, I didn't tell him that, but like I was trying to get him like. And I came off work. It was like a long week, but he just like chose to like, since he couldn't come in, he sat down on my porch and like just started like going, watch this tutorial, watch that.
Oh yeah,
like, dude, like. So yeah, I mean, I get what you mean, but like I said, we empathize with what we have experience in. So like right now, like I manage, like a business type of thing. So like I have more empathy towards like cashiers and stuff.
Right.
So like when I'll go to like even like fast foods now, I'll like treat them as a human. Not to say I didn't before. Right. I was You're
that guy that was like, oh, my fucking food's taking 3 minutes.
No. But and screw anybody at fast foods who don't like prepare the food.
Oh yeah.
Good for people, because like I mean that's your job. People are gonna, it's gonna make somebody's day if you do something with care. Or not, But anyways, fuck, I even forgot what I was saying. But yeah.
You empathize more with those people now.
Yeah, with people who you have
like people at cash registers and stuff.
So yeah, like I mean, I didn't get that close back, but no. But yeah, we was talking about the coins, we was talking about the Vivint guy that was, was trying to sell me shit. But what was before that? Like
I don't even know.
All right. Business. We were talking about business. But yeah, sometimes do people deserve it? Maybe not, but like
no, I just like I said,
like
just be up on your stuff.
Yeah. I think communication, like if you have friends and stuff like that,
ask
or like
questions.
Family, ask questions.
Don't just and especially if you're the person on the side of you think you might be getting scammed or something, right? Or you just have that like negative outlook on people asking you to buy something or see something. Right. Just ask some questions. You might not know that it might be relevant to your situation. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So don't just have them asking all the questions. You got to ask some questions back. You know what I mean?
It's a two-way street. Like don't just because someone's selling you something doesn't mean like the customer can't be like rude, but even or the salesperson could be rude. Like
Yep. Just ask questions. Yeah. Like find out how it's going to pertain to your situation before you dismiss it or buy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So. People would be a lot better off if they just stuck to that with any situation. Ask some questions.
We're so I watched Squid Games. We won't get into that. It was good. I liked it. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it was good.
But yeah, now I'm watching You. I don't know if Flo liked You, but anyways.
Oh, that's the one. The
he's like
the dude
killer.
Yeah, he kills. The first season, he basically like kills that boyfriend who's terrible to the girl he likes or whatever.
Something like he's like obsessed with a girl or something.
Yeah.
Like, hyper focused, and like he'll like research them and stuff like that.
Right.
Anyways, he's married now. He has a kid. But like in that show, like I've always liked the show because there's been like 1 or 2 seasons or something. I don't know. But like now it kind of annoys me because it's like,
oh, really?
Well, like because he thinks stuff and then he like we have a visitor, but it's fine. He thinks stuff, and he'll like we'll just say prejudges or like has a idea in his mind, but like I don't know. In that show, it's like I want them to just fucking communicate, just
right?
Like, say what's on your mind, or say what you think they're thinking,
right.
And then you guys could like work some shit out. But like maybe because I'm getting older. Like I was that way where I'm thinking of something and I'm trying to make a move off of thinking and this and that, but it's just better to just find out.
Just find out. Yeah. Ask questions.
Communicate.
Yep. Yeah. I've only seen like part of the first season.
Yeah.
Of that show, so just wasn't my cup of tea.
Yeah, and it doesn't always have to. But the Squid Games was cool, like that. I don't want to give a spoiler alert, I guess. But yeah, just the old guy, without saying anything, no spoilers. Yeah, I understood why he was happy to be there.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, do you feel like people who are bored? Because it's like, yeah. Do you think there's like, because everybody could be bored. We're all right. Probably bored at certain times. But do you think it's like more boring people, or do you think just situations are boring? It's like you can make good of anything. Like that's why at work, like it's boring, and like people will say it's boring sometimes. But like I will, talk to them like this,
right?
And we'll get through the day, and it'll be better. So
that's true. Yeah, I think. Like being bored, quote unquote bored, it's just a sense of not knowing what to do, just a sense of not knowing where you're going to go from where you're at right now.
Yeah.
And so I just think as long as you have something in mind that you're working towards or you're doing, for a reason, you're never going to be bored.
Yeah.
Yep. People that get bored are just people that don't know where to go. They don't have that mindset to set like, okay, today I'm going to do this, I'm going to get this done, or by the end of the month I want to do this or whatever, and so they just go day by day, and it's just like things that they were doing aren't fun to them anymore, and so they're like, well, I have nothing to do, I'm now bored.
Yeah.
So you're never bored if you have a target when you're aiming at, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And not even, goals, for sure, but also like, have a goal to like, reach out or be, enlightened, right. Or like, make somebody's day, or like, make somebody laugh or something like that.
Do something.
So probably last topic, because we're reaching up on the hour mark, and I know like maybe not make it so long, which it doesn't matter. I'm being very forgetful today, but like, is there anything that you wish you would have capitalized on, or like, because like I'm starting to believe more in like passions and stuff like that. And like, you probably have multiple passions, but like if you stuck with a passion, you probably could capitalize on it at some point, given the time or the effort.
Right.
So and we could go on in another episode about specifics, but like, is there anything that you feel like you could have, followed a passion on and capitalized on? And the capitalization doesn't have to be like super big, like, right. I would have been famous or I would have been rich, but like, you would add like, some sustainability and like, obviously it would be more than what you have today if you didn't, pursue. But do you think you have those certain types of things?
Oh yeah.
And you would probably promote that to like your kid, or do you think it's bad to tell your kid to be like, it's okay to have a passion and pursue it? Or
no, I think it's good.
Do you want them to still or do you want them to be like, nah, go to school, get the degree, do it the right way, like I don't know.
No, I'm kind of against that unless they want to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And society's changing so fast right now that I honestly don't think that college degrees are going to have the same weight as they did when we were coming up. You know what I mean? Like 15 years ago or 10 years ago even.
Yeah.
It's eventually just going to be to a point where, do you have experience in this area?
Yeah.
And we don't give a fuck about if you went to school and were taught it. We want to know, did you do this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's going to be, that's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, I mean, the person that I look back at and I was, if things weren't super easy to me, they didn't come to me easily, I would still work at it, but I wouldn't try. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I would work in doing it, but I wouldn't try my hardest because I was like, it's not working out the way I wanted it to work out. And that's a poor mentality to have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because even the best person had to go through their struggles in whatever area you can think of, right? Yeah. Immediately, like one of my biggest passions was, entertaining people and stuff like that. I went to, it was like an academy for like acting and stuff. You remember that?
Yeah.
And learned how to like act and learned how to like be involved in like stories and stuff like that as an actor. And then I did pro wrestling. That was something that I fucking loved, dude. Because I used to watch it a lot. Like that's another conversation we can have too. Because that was like the peak of pop culture was pro wrestling in the 90s, right? And so I always loved it. And I remember as I got older in like high school and stuff, and I'd watch it here and there because I wasn't that big into it at that time. But I was like, I can do that. Like I'm pretty athletic. You know, I'm trained as an actor. I could probably do that. And then I ended up doing it, and I was good at it. But because there was so much involved in being like noticed in it, and I just wanted to fucking go out and party and stuff like that. So I was like, you know, I let my own like need for thrills get in the way of my passion.
Okay.
You know, but if I would have pursued that passion, maybe I could have done something, you know, in it, because I was pretty damn good. And a friend of mine actually is signed in the WWE now.
Nice.
That I started with.
Nice.
Yeah. So.
But so for that, like, and I'll even say, go on record and say, like, maybe it wasn't a good thing for you to probably be good in that, or like, you know, because and I saw something like on YouTube where it's like Joe Rogan being, you should watch this, Joe Rogan being fake with The Undertaker. And like Joe Rogan throughout his, you know, podcast history, I guess, has like said so many bad things about wrestling. How it's like so insulting to like, you know, MMA and stuff like that. They're fake. They're acting, you know, like pretending injuries and stuff like that. But no, Undertaker like said like, you know, and he wasn't even a dick or anything. He was just like, I work 270 days out of the year.
It's like, a fucking tough thing.
It's wear and tear on the body. He actually really gets concussions and stuff like that. Like there's real, you know, shit going on, injuries and stuff like that. And I think Joe Rogan maybe, you know, understood it, but no, like it's, if you think about it, that's one of the hardest working things.
It's a
like
fucking tough
traveling, constantly
traveling,
constantly training, constantly putting your body through, you know, punishment. And
you gotta love that shit to do that. You gotta be passionate about it to do it.
And not even for yourself. Like, you know, you see people who like enjoy it so much, you want to do it for them because like that's like gonna be the best moment of the year or life, or you know, whatever, that kid. So yeah, I get it, but like maybe I wouldn't want that for you. And I wonder why like you probably like, you know, like that, you know, because it's such hard working, such, you know, it takes so much. And I like boxing, and that takes like so much, you know, physicality and, you know, much out of you and stuff like that. So I wonder why we love those type of hardworking type of, you know, fields, whatever. But I don't know, maybe for another time. But
that's a good topic we can get into eventually.
Yeah.